Boy, oh boy, do I have the craziest update for you all today on the resilient Jenkins. We've talked about them many times on this channel. Actually, there's a few updates, and I'm going to save the worst one for last. This video is not going to be a deep dive on them, so if you're looking for that sort of thing, I've done one on this channel before. I'll link it in the description below. But in case this is your first time hearing about the resilient Jenkins, I'll give you a brief little description of who they are. So the resilient Jenkins is a family of 7 who live in extreme poverty, and that's not necessarily the issue here. The problem is they were already struggling so bad financially, and yet they still purposefully decided to bring more children into this situation. Both adults refuse to get jobs to make their situation better. The mom treats the children very, very bad. There's actually been quite a few concerning allegations because of the things she's done and said in her lives and videos.
I was just asking, where are we gonna get the donuts?
I told you. When are you gonna get used to being disappointed? It's gonna have to be you or me who go get him later. He done made his choice. He's not gonna take you.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm tired of that shit too. I'm tired of him saying he's gonna do stuff for my kids, and then he just, oh, maybe then, maybe that. Disappointment. Yo.
They're currently living in a motel, which is a whole mess within itself because they can actually only stay at each motel for 28 days, and then they have to move to a different hotel. Otherwise, they'll be accused of squatting or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how the law works. I just know from watching her videos. And she will literally be in a video and say, oh, I completely forgot this is our 28th day, so we need to be out by today.
We usually never know until like the day we're going to the other motel what time we're supposed to be there. He usually just comes and tells us like between like noon and 3. So today he said just anytime after 2. Don't know if that means we can just kind of chill here until. So Drew's gonna go ahead and head out and do some gig work. I'm gonna get the rest of the place cleaned up and what we need packed to stay over there for a night, the food, whatever. And then it should be about time to head over there. I didn't realize it was our 28 days today, so I was going to do laundry today, but reroute. I'm going to take all of the towels and anything that might make the laundry smell overnight, put it in the tub, and then do laundry tomorrow. I really don't think anything is going to smell because it hasn't even been that long since I did laundry, but I'm just a freak about this now because of my experience.
Okay, I don't know why I didn't just talk here, but like I said, I put everything in the bathtub, shower, whatever the frick. Signature Jenkins thing here, plugged up, and then I got everything cleaned up. I did a little extra cleaning in this area because, I don't know, I just don't want any freaking bugs or anything overnight.
What do you mean you didn't realize? It is your responsibility as a parent to have these sort of things figured out. It is not fair that your children have to constantly be in fight or flight mode, never knowing if they're going to have a bed to sleep in or a roof over their head. And honestly, how do you even expect to move out and have a house one day with a mortgage like you claim if you can't even keep track of a 28 motel cycle? And you literally have 5 children, 6 including Drew, to pack up and move every single month. You need to be way more prepared than this. And I know Stephanie gets a lot of shit, as she should, because she's awful, but as bad as she is, and again, I'm not saying she's good whatsoever, but as horrible as Stephanie is, Drew is 1,000 times worse. He refuses to get a job. He actually refuses to do anything whatsoever except for play on his freaking PS5. People actually even joke that he does have a job. He has a 9 to PS5, and he actually refuses to get a 9 to 5 because he owes so much money in child support. He doesn't want to get his wages garnished. So Drew, the father of this family, does gig work here and there, and the money that he makes from this alleged gig work, he spends on weed. He is the absolute definition of a deadbeat dad. And the worst part is that he's not even embarrassed by this. I mean, he literally has the balls to post a video on TikTok of him roaming around the streets, and it says, current situation, going to find some food and something to smoke my weed with. It's just so pathetic. I can't. Okay, so I know in the past, Stephanie has rage baited and she's kind of like teased a breakup between her and Drew. She even posted a video saying, making the breakfast I know he'll eat, because if he won't eat, it'll somehow be mine and the kids' fault. Only to immediately get back together with him, claiming that this was a strategic move on her part and she was only doing this to get a reaction out of her viewers and to see who her real fans were.
This post was a strategic post on my part. Recently, I've been having a lot of couples pop up in my algorithm that have these like quote-unquote couple issues going on, and I can tell it's like staged on their part, and I don't mean to be judgmental, but what I noticed was within their algorithm, their views spiked tremendously, and they get a lot more followers than that, and I feel like it was because the general population of those new followers are people that are like, okay, I want to watch this couple fall apart. And it just had my gut off. I was like, is that really how people think? And I started wondering like how many people are following me and Drew for that very reason. Because for the past 3 years, all I've put forward and all I've said about my man is that he's an amazing father. He's a very supportive partner. And I've spoke nothing different. But the one post that I put up saying anything that would contradict that, putting a bad rep on my man, blows up like that. I mean, this is the most views I've had on a video in a while. Definitely the most likes I've had. And then I got all these people in the comments like, oh, I knew this all along. What did you know? Because I haven't said anything about my man negatively up until this post, which I just mentioned was a strategic move on my part.
Which is why when she recently made another video of herself crying about how her and Drew were having problems and he just picked up and left like her and the kids didn't matter, a lot of people weren't buying it. They didn't believe her because she's done this in the past, but for some reason I did believe it because I just don't feel like she's that good of an actress. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but she's not very talented, and there was something about this cry that just seemed real.
I don't mind. I expect it to be any different for me. I mean, like, y'all said it, like, that's how it went down with his exes, right? Just cold-hearted, like, out the picture, like, the kids don't matter. No, because I thought, like, he actually fucking loved us, you know? Thought I was different. What the fuck? It was gonna make me feel bad that I love people with my entire being, okay? No one's gonna make me feel bad about that. Or make me feel stupid that I didn't push for this pain any fucking sooner. I hate ugly crying online. Have fun with this. All of my ugliness for y'all loving fucking haters.
Stephanie's content falls into the like sympathy niche. Everything is like, poor me, feel sorry for me. It's meant to manipulate you and pull at your heartstrings and to make you feel bad for her, either for views or to hopefully trap you into donating to her GoFundMe, sending her stuff, or buying things from her Amazon registry. She's always looking for a handout and crying about how she wants a place to stay, yet she turned down housing when it was offered to her. Even like in the video we just watched where she says, oh, have fun with this. My haters are gonna have fun with this. She acts as though people are constantly hating on her for no reason and picking on her appearance. Personally, I have never seen anybody talk about her looks, and I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. This is the internet after all. If you're going to be online, you need to have thick skin because looks are always going to be something that trolls go for first, but that's with every creator. The actual criticism Stephanie gets from level-headed people with more than half a brain cell has nothing to do with her looks. People aren't hating on her for the reasons she claims. They're calling her out because she is a horrible parent who does not prioritize her children's well-being and doesn't do anything to improve their circumstances. So like I said, when Stephanie posted this video, a lot of people weren't buying this breakup. They said that she was just doing it for clout, she's doing it for the views, she's doing it because TikTok payday's coming up, blah, blah, blah. And surprise, a day later, her and Drew were back together. Now, though I didn't think she was acting in her crying video, I think we all knew that they would immediately get back together. Because if we're being honest, Stephanie is the ultimate pick-me, and I know she tries to spin it like she's being strategic, but it's like, strategic about what, girl? Because it's not like you're gonna get any child support from him. What are you being strategic about? So of course she had to post a video about them getting back together, which none of us needed to see, but she did say something interesting, however.
Oh, but you guys ended up just getting right back together, so this was just rage bait at its finest. Or perhaps it's 24 hours we should have stayed off the fucking internet. You feel me? Perhaps it's just that Drew and I should have handled our shit without getting the fuck online. And I'm gonna fully admit that started with me. But maybe it's because I felt like it was what I needed to do to catch the man's attention. And him and I have been arguing and dealing with some shit pretty intensely for the past month. And I'm not gonna lie, that fucking like side chick account had me in my goddamn head, because I'm like, why is this shit talking about stuff you would literally have a conversation with me about? And I'm sitting there telling him, like, why are you not concerned? Because the shit is so trolly. Like, they're gonna sit there and be like, it's this song you recommended, you listen to that song all the time. They sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to my hotspots, my designated hotspots, and this and this. This is conversation that Drew and I have. Like, it's like having a conversation with him. So for a second there, I sat and questioned that shit, like, what the fuck? And I like sending the screenshots of the text message threads. His behavior was a little bit different than I was expecting. So yeah, I'm questioning it. I'm questioning it the fuck any fucking ways. I'm fully distracted right now because my kids are being loud as fuck out there. And I was just gonna make this video same place on the counter, but they deserve to be loud when this is the only spot they can freaking get their little energy out right now.
So obviously she's putting her and Drew's relationship issues on blast like she always does. Nothing new here. But she does reveal that she has some concerns about a side chick and him cheating, which is just crazy work. I mean, we all expect it, but still, nonetheless, it doesn't make it any less crazy. I mean, you literally have 5 kids and you're living in a motel and you still have the audacity to cheat. It's just crazy to me. Not to mention, Drew has done this several times before where he's up and left his children and, you know, the woman that he was with. And everyone has been warning Stephanie about this for the longest time. But for some reason, like I said, she's the ultimate pick-me. She thought things were going to be different with her, that somehow he loved her more or loved her family more and she was going to be the one, she was going to change him. And it's like, girl, that never works out. What are you thinking? Then, as we know, Stephanie loves Facebook. She loves going on there and typing out novels about what she's going through, spilling all her drama. She actually reposted a quote and it says, a narcissist will neglect their partner and or children in multiple ways, but gladly help a coworker, neighbor, or a stranger. Why? Because it's all about them, their image, and getting praise from others. They save their abusive behavior for behind closed doors. So it's obvious that there is trouble in paradise and Stephanie is getting fed up with him, but not fed up enough to leave him, of course. She's going to stand by her mans and just complain about it to strangers on the internet. Then, in the midst of all their drama, this comment thread surfaced on a video on TikTok. And I'm going to tell you what it says, but just take it with a grain of salt because none of this has been confirmed, but still, it's something worth noting. So somebody commented on a video and it says, Drew got a woman named Sierra pregnant. She's 4 months along. All those late nights of gig work was actually Drew banging someone else. Stephanie's world is about to come crashing down. I hope CPS takes action. Stephanie is a drug user and the way she treats those kids is unacceptable. Then obviously someone under that comment asks, where did you hear this? And this person responds, I'm very close to this situation. I've been trying to get Sierra to make a video and come out about it, but she's terrified of y'all. She said she didn't know at the time that he had a whole other family. She's not proud of the situation she's in either, but at least she has a home and a job, which is a hell of a lot more than Drew has. Facts. Dear God, I hope this isn't true because neither of these people should be having any more kids. But still, after all of this, if there's one thing we know about Stephanie is that she's going to stand by her mans. She's going to stand by her bum ass man.
I'm just curious. Why do people automatically assume
that a woman that stays with a man that they know is doing stuff behind their back and just is just disconnected, period, why do you automatically assume that means the woman is just like dismissive of everything and completely okay with it? And she's just like, oh, I'm okay with being treated like that. When in reality, a lot of women are strategic, and we know like our situation is something we can handle currently, especially if we know what the fuck's going on. We know what's up, you know? We know what we're in for now. Disconnect is not anything I can't handle. And I've said this many times. Him and I work good as a family. Our kids thrive when him and I are working together to do what's best for our kids. And that's just that. Why y'all gotta assume that I'm instantly just like dismissive of everything that I spoke of, and that it's back and forth with the mental? No, it can all be the same. It can literally all be accurate at the same time. I can be trying to work on things with him and see if we still have a future together, as well as planning that possibility isn't a thing, but making sure I'm good if that's the case. Can you like understand that, or is that just too much? Given these accounts that want to just sit there and be like, it's in the eyes, you see it, she's using, stop giving them views. Meanwhile, they put their angles on the camera somewhere where you can't see they're actually the ones using. Like, come on. I literally have nothing to hide, and I put myself up here looking raunchy as all get out. I would probably be a little more ashamed of that and try to hide it if I was like using and paranoid about it. Most users are paranoid too. I'm fucking tired. I'm really tired.
So, which is it, Stephanie? Because one day you claim that you're trying to work things out with Drew, and the next you're claiming that you're strategizing a way out. And no, it can't be both. And guys, the caption is just the icing on this whole shit cake. She says, y'all make your assumptions about me anyways. I started my mom breaks again about a month ago when baby girl switched to eating more and now does not nurse as often. Go ahead and judge, but judge about right thing. I will never touch harder substances, but me and Mary Jane have been friends for years. Hashtag Mama5, hashtag Garden Mom, hashtag morning, hashtag Let's Talk. Now listen, I am in no way saying that if you smoke weed, that automatically makes you a bad parent. Absolutely not. But when you are living in a motel with your family and your bum ass king refuses to get a job, it just doesn't seem like we should be on the top of the priority list right now. Does that make sense? Now, like I said, I saved the absolute worst for last, and trigger warning because this is very difficult to hear. In the midst of this whole drama with Drew, her finding out about the side chick, them fighting, him getting kicked out, coming back, the whole saga, she was caught on live yelling something at her daughter that is so horrible. Before I play it for you, I just want you to know that the voices you're hearing in this recording are obviously Stephanie's and her 10-year-old daughter, and obviously a bunch of other kids because they're living in a motel.
Honey, stop looking at me like that. If that's how it goes down. I asked you, I gave you the option. Help with your sister for a minute, or you can get up and do the chores that are your literal chores. They're literally yours.
I'll help her.
There was three.
No, Miss Rachel.
Like, my 10-year-old girl should be.
Rachel!
Holy fuck. Give me the baby now and go do your chores.
Trying so hard to help.
Addie. No, you're not, and you need to stop.
Stop, please.
Addie, I already said stop, please. Holy crap.
Do we still need grab, Miss Rachel?
Yep. So, since you're going to try to spin that situation, what actually went down is we have an agreement. She can help with her sister, and I'll do her chores if she wants to help with her sister. But when I go out there and her sister's just laying down crying and she's just sitting watching TV playing with her tablet,
then we switch it up. I'm gonna take back the baby since you weren't helping, and I'll do the fucking, or you know, you can do your chores. I don't think that's too much to ask of a 10-year-old. She's given the option. I'm not making her take care of the baby. She's choosing. So.
But mommy, I had her in my arms. She wasn't.
I need you to stop.
Crying.
She just keep going too. I don't even know what you're complaining about. I did all them dishes before bed last night, and there's like 10 to do.
Still too much. 10's not that much.
I'm shutting the door and you're dealing with your stuff now.
I'll do them.
No, you're not gonna do her chore. That stuff just makes me so, like, I don't know. I get it why my parents just lost patience with me so often, because that was the kind of stuff that my mom would have just backhanded me. No arguing allowed, just backhanded. And like, I'm just sitting there like, I'm not about to do that to my child, but like, what is this? What is this, like, arguing back and forth? Like, who cares that you're the parent? I don't care. Preteens, bro. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for school to start, and I've never said that in my life.
Okay, so I know it can be difficult to hear, so I'll just tell you what's going on. Stephanie's baby starts crying, and I guess she gets frustrated or something. So she starts yelling at her daughter about how she's supposed to be taking care of her. And then her daughter literally says, "I'm trying so hard to help." But since Stephanie knows she's on live, she tries to explain that they had an agreement. She's choosing to watch the baby. This is her choice. She wants to do this. And then you can hear the little girl say, "I was holding her." And then Stephanie proceeds to softly yell. I mean, she wanted to yell, but she knew she was on live. So she got really close to her daughter and like whisper yelled to her, thinking that nobody would be able to hear. Well, we all heard. And she literally says to her daughter, her 10-year-old daughter, mind you, "Shut the fuck up. Fuck you." That's what she says. That's what she says to her 10-year-old daughter. Ma'am, that is your baby. The baby you insisted on having, the baby you wanted, the baby you planned for. It's not like this was an accident. You planned on having this baby, not your daughter. There is no reason you should be expecting your 10-year-old daughter to parent your baby. Just like, this lady just pisses me off to no end. But somebody on Facebook reposted this video saying, "Mom of the Year, Miss Stephanie Thompson, swearing at her kids, ignoring their needs, all so she can make a TikTok video." And Stephanie's literal response was, "If I was embarrassed by dealing with my kid, I would have turned it off. My kid is a preteen with full attitude. Normal parents get it and understand. Degaff about the rest of y'all." Laughing emoji, which is just so insane because, first of all, you didn't turn it off because you were so upset you couldn't control your emotions. So you still yelled softly enough thinking that the live wasn't going to be able to hear you. And also, I wonder why your kid has attitude. If they're a preteen like you say, I wonder why. They're living in a motel with no privacy with 5 other children and 2 adults that refuse to work, that refuse to do anything whatsoever to make their lives a better situation, to make anything a little bit more bearable for them. And you saying normal parents get it and understand. No, they don't. And it's absolutely insane for you to still be referring to your life and your situation and your parenting as normal. Literally nothing about this is normal. And the fact that you keep framing it in that way, twisting it in your head just to justify your fucked up parenting is absolutely insane. It makes me wonder what the hell is really going on in that house when the cameras aren't on, because as we know, this isn't the first time we've seen Stephanie mistreat her children. I mean, it scares me. I am scared for these children. So obviously after this, people called CPS because you just told your kid to shut the fuck up. What do you mean? And after her interaction with them, after they left, she gets on Facebook and posts this: "You're not going to keep showing up at our door with these allegations and meet nice Stephanie." Laughing emoji. Okay, Stephanie. Nope, no sir. I full-heartedly, she's so dumb, admit I was not kind during that interaction. She's talking about the interaction with the CPS worker, because I find it to be absolute BS that these folk keep showing up at our door. We have nothing to hide. Then she proceeds to get on TikTok, posting an 8-minute video, which I will spare you. I'm not going to play the whole thing because she just talks a bunch of nonsense, but I will play you the snippet where she talks about snapping. She calls it snapping at her kids. I'll play you that portion of the video.
But I'm not ashamed of it, nor do I think it reflects on how I parent my kids. It's just not, it's not something I agree with. Really, break it down for me. Other than like assumptions on me, what about me makes me such a horrible person? You say it's because I snap at my kids. A lot of people do. And a lot of people, a good parent should be, because kids shouldn't just get away with everything. That's not how it works. Kids need boundaries, in my opinion. I don't appreciate people nitpicking my parenting. It does get to me because I know I'm a good mom. And I get emotional. Like, this has just been a very tough 6 months. And yeah, I feel like a nutcase. And I'm sorry that y'all are offended by it, I guess. I'm not really sorry, but imagine what it's like, I guess. Anyway, bye.
I just wanted to add this as a side note. In the middle of her response to her telling her children you, or sorry, snapping at her children, she literally puts text on screen that says, I can't wait to change up my look eventually too. Your look? What do you mean? Jesus Christ. This literally shows exactly where your priorities are in a video where you're responding to backlash about telling your daughter, fuck you. This is your priority here. Stephanie, you can't even afford to buy your daughter a birthday cake or take your children to the bouncy house place that they've been dying to go to. And you're over here daydreaming about changing up your look. Listen, I get that self-care matters and it's important for moms to feel beautiful and feel like themselves and treat themselves. But when you have 5 kids and your family is bouncing from motel to motel every 28 days, bringing that up in a video where you were just caught telling your daughter to shut the fuck up, fuck you, is insane. Absolutely insane. And it just shows that your priorities are 100% upside down. No, Stephanie, it's not that people don't like you because you snap at your kids, if that's what we're calling it these days. It's because, in my opinion, you are abusing them, allegedly, and we don't know how bad it is quite yet. I know at the very least, we know that it's verbal, and you are permanently damaging and traumatizing them. You are not financially stable, and yet you have still purposefully brought more and more children into this already horrible situation. You constantly complain about Drew and talk about how he mistreats you and your family, but yet continue to go back to him. You keep having more kids and refuse to get jobs, yet the little money you do make, you waste on weed and pointless shit that you don't need. Meanwhile, you have 5 children living in a fucking motel, and you act like that's normal.
Because I don't feel I have anything to hide that's not anything anybody else goes through.
And on top of that, you expect your 10-year-old daughter to step into a co-parenting role and then yell at her when she's not doing it good enough. That's not parenting. That is neglect. Ugh, sorry guys. This lady just makes me so mad, but I hope you... I don't even know if I can say I hope you enjoyed this video, because how could you enjoy any of that? But please like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.